Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on Business Communication with Balaji. Today, we are going to discuss something very important. We started the series not to discuss communication or English language. This is primarily to help teenagers and their parents decide what courses they can choose in college, so that what kind of opportunities they can expect after that particular course, because of which I decided to invite people who are working in different fields after doing a specific graduation. And when I was going through some LinkedIn profiles of my friends, I came across a very interesting profile of someone whom I met a couple of years ago. And she did her graduation in a subject that we don't often think about: statistics. I do not know how many of you told your parents, or how many parents thought about, I want to put my child in statistics rather than engineering. And you think about different types of engineering, but then you don't really pay attention to statistics as a subject. Some people might even think about mathematics, but I do not know if many people think about statistics as a subject that is suitable for graduation for your child, or any of you students who are watching this as well. Um, so now, just to give you a heads up about statistics, I do not know much about it, but one of my mathematics teachers at school said this. Statistics was one of his papers in his BSc mathematics, and he said anyone who failed that paper had a very tough time clearing it later. So now you can imagine how would it be to study statistics as the only subject for 3 years as your undergraduate. And our guest today has also done post graduation in statistics, and she did it from a very reputed institution, Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata, and post which she took up very interesting jobs. Currently, she is the vice president at one of the world's leading banks. She has over 17 years of experience in the financial services industry in terms of transforming business operations. She specializes in developing innovative AI and machine learning solutions that enhance operational efficiency and customer satisfaction. Srimoyee is an expert at leading high performance teams, implementing advanced analytics to drive strategic decision making, and navigating complex challenges to deliver impactful, customer focused products. She is committed to fostering a culture of continuous improvement, and resilience aligned with global standards. So, as I mentioned, she is already the vice president of the world's one of the world's leading banks. So that means she has to be at global standards, everything that she does. And it's she's at global standards not just in terms of her work. I am happy to say that I met her at a music school where I joined as a student, and she had already learned music for several years, but she also moved to a new city, and she was trying different music schools there. And she is an amazing singer. She is a fabulous singer. It is a pleasure listening to her. She has learned Hindustani classical music for several years, and it's certainly a treat to our ears to listen to her. If time permits, we can ask her to sing, provided she can, depending on how her throat is. We were supposed to have this interview yesterday, but we couldn't. She was kind enough to agree to do this interview today. And as a vice president, as a person who handles multiple things, and also someone who who dons multiple dos or dons. I don't remember the exact word, but who wears multiple hats. She was kind enough to agree to do this interview today. Our guest is Srimoyee Duttagupta, who is the vice president of a world's leading bank. Thank you so much. One of the vice presidents of a world's leading banks. Thank you so much for joining us, Srimoyee. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Balaji, for such a nice introduction, I would say first. I'm a big fan of yours. And to let you know that I couple of times I went to Balaji for the public speaking and all those courses. So thank you so much, Balaji, for inviting me today here and making me feel like, I can inspire many people. And that feels so special to me. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, my pleasure. And it's not just you can inspire, you do inspire many people already, I'm sure. One of them is definitely me, looking at how you handle various things at work and in terms of music and everything. I'd like to start with this question. As I mentioned in the beginning of this introduction, not many people
Mhm.
think about statistics for graduation. How did you decide to choose statistics for your graduation?
Actually, I was always very much fascinated with the data and how to have the application of the data in the real world scenario, right? So I think statistics create that bridge between mathematics and the real world where you will be able to apply your knowledge. So there are theoretical subjects, like, for example, we know about mathematics. So mathematics is having his its own applied part of it, but if you consider statistics you will see numeric examples. It's a really applied field of mathematics, which means that obviously, like, I always liked mathematics, I had an inclination towards mathematics, but I found this is so practical. And when I started my graduation, that time we only had analytics, we didn't have capability to handle such a large volume of data. But now, probably often you will listen, right, that data is the new oil. And then, if you are agreeing to that, I think this is the right field where you are. And the applications of statistics are so amazing. So I thought about I should learn this subject, and that's where my interest started. And also, one of the point I want to mention is one of my school teacher. He was an ISI BStat MStat. So he influenced us a lot. And then I thought, like, I would take the graduation in statistics. So physics was also one of my favorite subject, but then I was too much attracted to statistics after seeing all these applications. So that was the interest area from where I started.
Thank you. Thank you very much for explaining this in detail. And for teachers who are watching, I hope you heard what she said. You might be inspiring someone. Good teachers teach, great teachers inspire. I hope you do inspire many students to choose certain fields or to be in a certain way that is motivational and inspiring for others too. With that said, Srimoyee, you were talking about analytics, and I think today your work also revolves a lot around analytics, and you have mentioned about AI and machine learning and all these things in terms of your work. So when I thought about statistics, and the only thing that I could relate to today was data analytics and so on, which people are talking about today. But since time immemorial, people who took up statistics have been doing this.
Yes, from long time onwards.
So how have things changed in that forum, like from that statistics to today's data analytics era?
Yeah. Yeah. So I just missed one point. So
Mm-hmm.
if you think about data analytics, it's not about only not about only coding. Like today we have generative AI, we have AI, right? We have those solutions, but that has been invented long back. So we didn't have the computational power at that time. So it was difficult to run those algorithms because those were very complicated, considering that we didn't have the computational power, right? But this AI or the analytics that we are talking about, it's about statistics, it's about coding, and the very important part is the storytelling part of it. For example, you are solving a complex problem, but if you are not able to tell that story, if you're not able to present that story to the bigger audience, or maybe your partners or stakeholders whom you are delivering that project, then it is really very difficult. They won't understand. They would find it is very complex. So this consists of these three things, like statistics, which is the backbone of analytics, then your coding, it could be any programming language, and then finally it is the data storytelling. So to answer your question very specifically, it's like now different because I mentioned, right, that the computation power has increased. Now we are able to store large volumes of data, terabytes, gigabytes of data. It's not a problem. So now what happened is accordingly we also the algorithms that we invented a long back. we are able to apply it right now. So previously, we were not able to apply those algorithms because we didn't have that power. We were not able to test whether how it is coming, what's the result is. But eventually, the algorithms has evolved over the time. That's the only change that has been happened, but still the analytics industry remains the same. And it is very, very important to get the insights from those data because that's how you would grow your business. So it helped in a lot other, in many different aspects. So previously you didn't have the understanding of your historical data, how it is performing. But today, like everywhere you see, right, everywhere there are applications of these statistical algorithms. With time, it has evolved, but the basic fundamental has not changed. So that is why it is very, very important. Like I also had I also offered some of the courses to my students, and then always I found that the challenge was they didn't know how this algorithm actually works, what is the backbone of it. So even if AI is there, if you are modifying also something, you also need to understand that what is the background of it, what is the foundation or what is the basics of it. So that part has still not changed, but it has been evolved with multiple algorithms and changes that's in place. So hope I answered your question.
You did, you did. So the only question that yet arises for me is that now statistics itself could be challenging. Now, on top of it, you will have to learn coding, and then you will
Yes,
also have to develop some storytelling skills.
exactly.
So how did you learn these things?
So obviously the platform was created because I already came from the postgraduate background.
Hmm.
So we learned a lot of theoretical concepts in our college and universities. And it was a vast subject. So you had probability. And the best part of statistics is there are a lot of applications, right? So if you want to go to the retail market, for example, if you want to know the customer products and what are the recommendations for the customers, what is the satisfaction of the customers, then you have a basic theoretical algorithm which will support you. Now if you go to the biostatistics, we also have different kind of concepts that's related to biostatistics. I'm not going into very much of detail because I understand this is for the young people, but what I'm trying to tell you is that the basic or the fundamentals, uh, we got the knowledge from the schools, universities and colleges already. So in the course we also had the programming languages. So when I graduated that time, we learned SAS, we had C++.
Okay.
So it
This
was
is a part
already
of your
included.
UG or PG.
Yes, UG and PG. Yes.
Okay.
And today, yeah. And in today's world, they also have Python. They have all the kind of programming languages like SQL. SQL is also like a data querying tool. So that's already comes as a part of your program, UG or PG program from wherever you are graduating or you are going to the postgraduate. So that part is always taken care of by the universities or colleges, but there is some on the job learning as well, because when you enter into the practical world, right, so then it is very difficult, very different from what you have learned in your theoretical knowledge. So that is what is called the on the job learning, where you have to basically understand that what is the problem that you are going to solve, what's the objective that you are going to solve. And since I have worked in mainly into financial institutions, right, and some of world's leading banks as well. So for us, it is very much required that we understand what the stakeholders are asking. What's the pain point basically that we can solve. So any business, I think, starts from that. So when you are in the industry, you will learn that over the years you will learn that what the business is asking, what's the business ask, what's the pain point that you are going to solve, and how can you present. So the presentation skill comes from the on the job learning. But nowadays the curriculum, because I'm interviewing to different people, right, we go to Vellore Institute of Technologies, we go to IITs. So I interview the people from IITs as well. So nowadays they are doing real life projects as well, and where they would get that learning of storytelling. So all the things probably you would learn in the course, but you would refine it while you are in the job market, or you are joining some institution.
Wonderful. So this question has answered a lot of things, but
Hmm.
some takeaways for me, which I want to highlight in particular, are dear parents, some of you are thinking you want to put your children somehow in IITs and NITs, but just remember today we have an example of a person who did statistics and who is interviewing people from IITs. So that is one thing I wanted to highlight for the viewers in particular. And uh, for on behalf of the teenagers, they think or they hear often, work hard in your 12th grade and then you can have rest. But I don't think that is ever going to be possible as long as they are working. So is there anything that you want to say about it?
First of all, I just want I don't know whether you know this information, but some of the IITs, they also offer postgraduate degrees in statistics.
Okay.
So you have to give an exam, which is called the JAM. In our time, it was JAM. I don't know if it is something which has changed,
Okay.
but IIT Kanpur, IIT Bombay, so they offer the postgraduate courses in statistics as well. So yeah, that's a very good course to pursue after your graduation. And yeah, that's the point I just wanted to add. That people, they don't necessarily go for the engineering degree always, BTech degree, but there
Mm-hmm.
are multiple options which people can opt for as well, in
Wonderful.
case if they are interested. Yeah. And sorry, can you just repeat the last question that you
Yes,
asked once again?
the teenagers often hear that work
Hmm.
hard in your 12th grade, make it to IIT or any of these top colleges, and then you can relax. But then the race starts after that. They have to keep themselves updated. Once they go to work, that doesn't stop. So, does it ever stop that having to be updated
No,
and having to learn?
it never stops. You have to always learn, and you have to continue that upskilling. So see, when we joined, that's what I was talking about, my journey, right? It was
Mm,
only analytics, it was the classical statistics, and we entered into that era when unstructured data, for example, if customers are providing feedback, how can you analyze those data set, how can you improve that customer satisfaction? Let's say today it's 70%, how can you make it 80%? So that was a kind of data, it was untouched. So people were only talking about numbers, but they didn't think about that, okay, some analysis can be done from the set of, feedbacks as well.
mm,
So that was a new learning. So we had to upgrade. Now came the big data and all these things. Now you had to upgrade yourself. To again different systems, there are cloud mechanism, there are snowflakes, there are databricks, there are multiple platforms that people are upgrading themselves right now. And then came again generative AI. So it's said that it's an invention of the decade, right? So now everyone, if you see the post and everything, people are talking about AI, agentic AI, generative AI,
mm.
right? And financial institutions. In any financial institutions, it comes at a later stage because we have security, we have data breach policies, and there are so many things. But even then, you will see it's such a powerful and strong technology that financial institutions, they are also exercising this generative AI. Obviously, with lot of precautions, there are so many controls, policies, and regulations, and rules and regulations. But the learning never stopped. You have to upgrade yourself, right? So if you think like that, okay, till 12th, I had to do a lot of hard work, and after that, I can take some rest, and then I can enjoy my life with certain things, the skills that I have gained. It's a complete no-no. You have to learn properly. You have to upgrade yourselves in your entire life, throughout your entire life. So yeah.
So now you, I'm sure you have a lot of things to handle at work. Despite that, do you make time to learn things at work or maybe when you're away from work? How does your learning work?
Uh, Generally, I try to invest in every day. I try to invest at least 1 hour for my learning. So
Wow.
so that I can be updated with the technologies that's going on. Obviously, like there are opportunities in my work as well. For example, if a new project is coming and I have to apply something, then I have to learn it. And since I have a large team, right, so I need to monitor how the performance is going, what are the techniques they're applying, if there are any scope that we can modify and get a better result. So because it is directly going to the production, it's directly, it's actually having an income of billions of dollars, right? So we have to be very mindful, like what we are delivering. So to keep myself updated, I generally try to put at least 1 hour in my busy schedule so that I
Wow.
can upskill myself. Yeah.
So, people, if a vice president is putting minimum 1 hour a day to upskill herself, I think we understand what we should be doing. So, Srimoyee, when uh, do you ever uh, find it difficult? You might find it difficult or challenging, but do you ever find yourself being disinterested? I don't want to spend time studying something today. I not in the mood to do that. Have you ever got that feeling, and what do you do at such times?
Uh, it happens because all of us are human being, right, Balaji? If I
Yes.
tell you that it never happens, uh, then I might be wrong. But then maybe I'll take some break that time. I won't invest some time. I would do something else. I would pursue my hobbies, or maybe I'll take a break and do some travel. I love traveling.
Wow.
So I'll come back. I take a break. But then in statistics, I would really tell you there are so many interesting things to do that you won't feel that you don't have the motivation. So
Right.
continuous, like in my career, in the 17 years of careers, I have seen many ups and downs.
Mm,
But all the time it is so interesting. For example, prior to this financial institution, this bank, I was in some other bank.
mhm,
And that time I was talking about the unstructured data, right? For example, the customers feedback and all those
mhm,
kind of data. So it was so interesting, it was so fascinating that it was an emerging technology. So
mm.
I just went into deep and I filed a patent also from there. So
Wow.
you can imagine, like in every stage you are getting challenges and you will love to solve those challenges, real life challenges. So that's the interesting part that I enjoy always.
That's great. I mean, so I didn't know about the patents. How many patents have you got so far?
Two as of now.
Wow.
So
Okay. Lovely.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
these patents, are they related to statistics or anything close to
It
that?
was related to business problem, but yeah, statistical algorithm has been used in the backend. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But
Great.
we do have, like in all the banks or this kind of
Mm,
large institutions, they have provisions for you. You can publish white paper, you can file
mm,
patent as well. So yeah,
awesome.
it all depends
Um,
upon how
mhm,
much motivated you are or what is your interest level. Yeah.
got you. Srimoy, when people do, let's say, a BSc statistics, what kind
Mhm.
of jobs can they expect to get into? Where are they needed?
See, like if you are asking that where are they needed,
Hmm.
I would say like there are, I mean, everywhere. I mean, it's like that's what I told you, right? The vast application of it. I don't know if people are aware about it, but they are required in government services as well. So there are Indian Statistical Service Examination, ISS. In Reserve Bank of India, people can apply for that RBI
Mm,
exams. It's a and SBI also, there are probationary officers, so you would directly join in the post of officers, right? So this is what about government sector. Talking about the private, you, this is an ideal situation, I would say, because now data science is here. So you can join as a data scientist, you can join as a data analyst, you can join as business analyst, right? You can join as a market research analyst. You can join as a biostatistician in the field of biostatistics. For example, GSK and all those companies, right? They hire a lot of biostatistician. But If you ask me, after the graduation, I think people should do some kind of post graduation degree, which would definitely enhance their values in the job market if they are job oriented. But there is a vast scope of research as well. So people who are interested in
Hmm.
research, R&D, right? So each and every company, they are having a big R&D and they very much invest in those statisticians. So people who are completing their doctorate or PhD degrees, they are, I mean, don't ask me, they are at very high demand. And
Correct.
as you rightly pointed out, right, that very few people know about it. So
Mm.
I think people, so many people go for engineering degrees and all, but very few people go for the statistics degree. Very few. I mean, it could be, it won't be even 1%, I think. I mean,
Mhm.
it's a very low number of people, but the opportunity is vast. Because you are having all the concepts that's required today, you would be very strong starting from that. So if people are interested in numbers and applications and application related fields, so it would be ideal for them. So, from the job market perspective, they have vast opportunity, I should say, and in every sector.
Wow. This is, I never realized this. So
Mm.
when I saw your profile, I was like, okay, statistics and the world's leading bank. How did these two get together? So I was wondering, like, is this even a path that, because generally when you think of a bank, you think of maybe a CA or someone who is a BCom graduate who is making it to a bank. You barely think of a statistician getting there. So I mean,
Yeah, and one funny story is always like, do you handle customer? What is your feedback? How do you? So people think like, if you are in a bank, that means in a front end job. People don't know
Mm,
about that there is a big back end team for the
mhm.
bank, and where analytics is the backbone of that. For us, we have only 400 members in analytics. So you can think about how much the banks are investing on analytics.
Wow. So here, there is a lot of revelations here for me today. I think it helps the people who are watching this as well. Srimoyee, now there are plenty of jobs, and I think you even mentioned that some of them are on high demand. So I'm sure there are lots of not just jobs, well-paying jobs also available for people who take up
Yes.
statistics. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And if you are doing a master's from ISI, your minimum range starts from 20 to 22 lakhs per annum. That's the high paid jobs. One of the, I think, highest
Mhm.
paid jobs. Like people nowadays, they are getting more as well. I'm telling you the average figure, but it's not less than the engineers who are graduating from IIT. At the same scale, they are considered.
Oh, wonderful. So
Uh,
yes, that's one thing I wanted to highlight, or I wanted to ask you about, because people think, okay, there are jobs, but what about the pay?
mhm.
So I'm glad to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, if you make it to the top institutions like ISI, so I think
Yes, ISI or
people.
IITs,
Hmm.
it's a similar scale of how the engineers get from the campus
Wonderful.
itself. Now, if
Great.
you have experience on top of that, then obviously, like
Mm,
it would be a high amount.
great. So you mentioned about research too. I think you worked in the research field for a while. Can you tell us about that
Yes.
experience a little bit?
Oh, that's a great experience. I met so many renowned professor from ISI because what happens is because they have the government funding projects as well, right? So,
Mhm.
initially I had a plan to complete my PhD actually, but due to some unforeseen circumstances in my family, I wouldn't pursue. I had to take a job, but that was the main primary reason for me to go into some of the project and understand that how it works. But those are directly coming from government. Sometimes it's a funded project, and it's having all the real life applications. For example, I was working on that time in the currency, like currency exchange market, how it's going to be, how can we predict that.
Hmm.
So it was like very interesting problems. I did one of my white paper in ISI while I was in ISI. So that was like how human genes are working, and what are the changes that can be made on the genes, and what are the effects of it, how can we predict those occurrences and all those things. So there are multiple applications, and there are multiple I mean problems that you can solve also, but those research projects are really very important. And if someone is really interested to go into the field of research, that gives them a platform that how to solve a real life project while doing their thesis as well. So yeah, that's a great opportunity.
Thank you so much for telling us about your experience in research. I think this gives an idea for some of those who might be interested in research about what they can expect when they get there.
And
Uh,
most of my students who did the research, they are now settled in US, and they are professors in some of the universities. They are continuing with their research, and it's a
uh,
like high paying jobs there as well. Yeah.
Okay, so now there are opportunities available all over the globe when they do
Yes.
statistics. Okay, so you mentioned your students. Are you also into teaching? So I knew about music, travel, banking. So now one more. So tell us about that.
So actually, I was I'm responsible for the L&D part in my organization, right? So
Mhm.
I'm very much fascinated about teaching. So while I was training people in office, I was taking multiple courses. So what I found out is like many people, they are coming from the coding background. So engineers, they mainly come from the coding background, but when they're modifying certain algorithms, or when they are trying to understand that why this is happening, how should we change that, they don't have that knowledge. And then they
Mhm.
have to come to the statistician, they have to ask, they have to collaborate with us. Okay, what is happening? Okay, tell me the algorithm that's working behind it. Because let's say today generative AI is doing the automation part for you. But if you don't know which part to automate, right? How to improve the result, then obviously you have to come to the you have to understand the background first, that why this is happening. So from there my interest started. I thought, okay, why not to start a course and then teach people about like what is statistics, how can they learn it, because there are multiple contents available in YouTube. People are so confused that which course to take, which course not to take, which one should be the right for them depending upon where they are. So then I started with my own class, and then I taught many people. And I had some folks from US as well, but then it was getting difficult managing jobs and then training people as well. So I thought, okay, like my kid was also small that time. So I thought, okay, I'm not uh, probably giving time at home. So let me take a break. And once he's grown up a little bit, then I'll again continue. So yeah,
Great.
that's
So
the story.
thank you so very much for sharing that too. So a teacher inspired you, and you are inspiring many people today as a teacher, and in many other ways as well. Shrimoy, I have another question. While you do multiple things, do you think one helps the other? Like your music, does it help you in any way at work or with teaching? Or maybe does your travel help you with anything related to data analytics? Does that happen?
Definitely. And that's a great question, Balaji. So, yeah, like, obviously, music is a passion for me, but that's a hobby.
Mhm.
Sometimes, if I feel like there are a lot of pressure, I just probably switch off from there, and it calms my mind. Music calms my mind. Music is like it's as it's said, right? That music heals everything.
Yes, it
So
does.
yeah, it's definitely is a good part of it. And not only that, in banking or any other organization, apart from your career and all, you also have a community.
Mm.
So you have some sort of engagement. So people know me, right? Okay, that she's a singer, or
Mhm.
that's a kind of, it's an added advantage for you, obviously. So yeah, that helps definitely. Travel, wonderful opportunity to connect with people, to understand
Mm.
their stories, to understand what is the pain point. I was talking about the pain point, right?
Yeah.
So if you think about like what are the practical applications, you must have to talk to people, understand what is going around, what they want to solve.
Mm,
So yeah, travel obviously gives you a break. You
mm.
are mentally you are relaxed, and
Ah,
along with that, it also helps you to understand what is going on in the outside world, how you should connect with people, and also gives you an opportunity to talk to people. And then I was talking about storytelling, right?
mm,
So it comes with practice.
mm,
You have to you have to start thinking that okay, I know so many technical things, I have to present it.
mm,
So recently I got an email from one of my partners. She was asking that okay, can you simplify it so that your grandmother or a
mm.
5-year-old kid, he also understands that what you are trying to say. Right?
Yeah.
So so that is very, very important. So obviously all of these are connected.
Mm,
I personally I feel like people should have one hobby
mm,
along with the mainstream that they are their career is on, or maybe they want to pursue. But
mm.
obviously like having a hobby always keeps you refreshed. It makes you feel like okay, like it's fine to take break sometime and then go back to your work with full energy. So, yeah. And teaching, I should mention this because if you are teaching, the more you are teaching, you will learn more. So that's a continuous process, right? So
Yes,
I love students who are asking so many questions because then you would go back, you would do research also, even if you don't know. And it helps you to enhance your knowledge. That I believe.
definitely. Definitely. After I
Uh,
started teaching, I realized how much I don't know. That is one of the things
true.
that happened.
Yeah.
Um,
And there's so many things to learn as well.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
Srimoy, just one more question to wrap this up. Um,
Hmm.
Now, let's say maybe a teenager watching this is thinking, I think statistics might be interesting. It might open new doors for me and all that, but I'm not very sure if I want to take this up for my graduation. What should they do? How to find out whether statistics is for you or not?
First of all, I would say first understand that whether you are interested in maths or not, because
Mm,
statistics is the applied part of mathematics. So it is very difficult for people because I have seen people who are coming from, let's say, masters in English, they want to learn. So I'm not saying that this is impossible, but
mm,
they have to put a lot of hard work
true.
to understand that how coding, what is coding, how
Mm,
to write a programming language, and all these things. So maybe people are doing something else, right? They are into some other fields, and later they realize, okay, I need to pursue this subject, statistics. I love this subject. People are doing data science courses, which is fine,
mm,
but try to understand the basics of it. I should say first, learn from the basics, which is very, very important. Nowadays everything is automated, so you don't have to put a lot of effort in coding, you don't have to put a lot of effort in trying complex algorithms and all, but the basics or the fundamentals should be very clear to you. So that's one thing. People can come from a different background. They are interested, maybe someone, for example, let's say did English honors or something, right? Graduation in some other subject, and then they got a job of, let's say, telecaller, or someone who is in the chat process or voice process, right? So now they are interested to understand that okay, I am receiving so many data every day, how can I make some analysis out of it, how can I make it very interesting so that people, I can provide some more insights to that data. If you have that curiosity, if you have that curiosity in your mind and you want to do something else, then I would say nothing is impossible, but your fundamentals or basics should be very clear. Rest of the things, I think now generative AI is here, ChatGPT is here. It would help you a lot. Yeah, and that was actually the pain point. Many people said that I'm good at analyzing things, but I don't understand codes. I
mm.
don't know how to write codes, right? Coding is really very difficult for me. I
Hmm.
don't want to go to that phase where I have to write complex codes and I don't understand SQL. So I think here that is what exactly the thought of many people was, and that's why generative AI is here to help you. It would give you all the support, but you have to have a curious mind.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Srimoy, for answering all our questions patiently and very clearly. Dear viewers, now you know how to decide whether you should take up statistics or not, what kind of opportunities you can look up to if you choose statistics for your graduation, and what kind of additional skills you need to make the best or to find the best opportunities post your graduation in statistics. I hope if these three things are clear to you, we have made this 1 hour really worth it for all of you who are watching. Thanks a lot for sticking around. And Srimoyee, once again, thank you very much for all your clear, detailed answers. Despite your busy schedule, thanks a lot for being here and helping us out. Thank you.
My pleasure, Balaji. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you.